Here I am, Leon C., aka Morpheus. You are now listening to the Academy of Wow Man. Now, here today, I'm going to go ahead and put my first disclaimer out there because some of you may be new to this channel. And some of you have a misunderstanding. I told you I have eyes and ears everywhere. I want to give a shout out to several of my people who pretty much comprehends what I am trying to do. I am going to give credit and shout out to one of my listeners named Leobin. Thank you for informing me and letting people know that I mean business. I want to give a shout out also to Brandy. Brandy, I appreciate you for opening some people's eyes to my channel and letting them know that I've been here the whole time. Brian, you get a shout out as well for being a very effective listener and supporter. And the interviews are getting better and better. Sandra, you are appreciated. Donald, you're also appreciated. David, you've been doing a very good job supporting this channel. And Octavius, you're always on point and never forgotten. But that's not the disclaimer. The disclaimer is I'm not here blaming women. Okay? You already see the title. I'm not here pointing my finger to any specific person at all. I'll tell you who I blame in this situation is the whole of you. A lot of you. I got a book that I've written. It's called 2020 America Rise or Fall Hard. Now, have I explained to you, it's not about the 2020. It's about the 2020s, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Because I've seen what you have been dealing with today. I've explained these things to you that it works out in details and then it prospers thereafter like a poison. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the audio, the YouTube channel right now, the video. You're listening to the information right now, but here it is. A lot of you are just too damn lazy. I've explained this before, but you don't listen. Now, my condolences and my respect for all the families who have lost their loved one and their children. I don't condone violence over here in this academy, and I do not condone any individual to go without psychological therapy, without mental help and evaluation. But what I know is who needs therapy and where the evaluation needs to go is not the children. It's not the 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old. The therapy is not the guns that you use or that is penalized or is going through unnecessary scrutiny. The persons who need therapy is the goddamn parents. You're the ones who need therapy. Stop trying to attack gun laws. Stop trying to sit here and say, well, you know, my kid, we need to listen to what the kids have to say. And maybe it's the teenagers. Maybe they're going through something. No, maybe you as parents need to get help. The problem is you. Stop pointing your finger at everybody else. Stop pointing your finger at the guns. Stop pointing your finger at the teenagers. Point the finger at yourself. You are the one who brought these children into existence, into life, into your world, into your tutelage, into your mentorship, into your rule, and unto your guidance. I have given you everything that I could give you to prevent this from happening. I gave you everything I could give you. You got this full channel here with so you got about 200 and something videos that you could listen to that will give you some insight and at least open up your mind to things that you probably never heard of before and make you aware. I've spoken about situations like this. I told you it's going to happen again because I know the mythology of your lifestyle. I know how ignorant the majority of you are. And I know kids. I love children. I know what they think. Half of you don't. And you don't even damn near care, apparently. The mythology of your lifestyle is what's creating this dynamic. And I have nothing to do with the kids nor the firearms. Once again, to repeat myself to you to understand. Because even if you remove that, they're still going to find another way. They're going to find another way. And as a matter of fact, what's worse? I'm not even going to get there. I'm not even going to go there because some of you too sensitive. Some of you too sensitive. When you have an individual who is almost ready to implode on the inside by not getting the help that they need or the therapy that they need or the guidance that they need, they're still going to blow up one way or the other. They're still going to act out one way or the other. So if you take away the firearm or if you take away whatever their means of using or utilizing to hurt someone else, they are still going to explode one way or the other. I don't understand how a lot of you smart so-called college graduate, PhD, doctorate, psychologist idiots think you are, and you still don't understand this basic fact. I don't get it. I don't get how you don't understand. The way, here it is. The way America is operating is creating children like this. I gave you detailed analysis, things that you haven't thought about in the book called 2020 America Rise or Fall Hard. I told you. But you too, let me be honest, because we're adults here, right? We're adults here, right? You too damn stupid and stuck on yourself to understand or to even try to implement anything. The only thing you think that's going to solve stuff is implement more rules, more laws, more policy, which isn't helping the problem. Most of you rather worry about the symptoms. You're not worrying about what's causing the problem to begin with, is you. Your ordeal, the way that you are living in a broken family home. You're living in a broken home where most people have to work. They got to leave home. A lot of people are struggling financially. And most of the time, are you ready? Are you ready? Ready or not? Most of the time, you're always creating a broken home where the mother is the sole provider and guardian of the child at least 70 to 80% of the time or more. I could be wrong. Most of the time. And not to say that mothers cannot raise a decent child. I'm not saying that. Again. But when it comes to statistics and facts, men and women are different. The problem with y'all funny people in America is you think men and women are the same. A lot of times with these incidences, these issues that occur, it comes from an emotional child. An emotional child. An emotional child. The mother and her perspectives of life and existence is always going to be an emotional one. A male is usually stoic and logical. Again, I gave you my disclaimer. I'm not pointing my finger specifically at the woman. I'm pointing it at your system. Because you are placing all your values, all your aspects and ideas on one grass field, which is, when you're a farmer and you realize the soil is bad, Okay, and you're not yielding the proper fruits and vegetables. Why the hell would you keep going over there to try to seed it? You got to undo it all over again. You got to pull up the roots. You have to grind it again to make sure that the soil is fertile. And why would you do all that if you know on the other side of the fence, the grass in the ground is even more fertile and ready and ripe and prepared for it? But you want to be so ignorant, just like what Einstein said. How can you morons continue to do the same thing and think you're going to get a different result? You're going to get the same result over and over again. I told you this in the book. I've told you this in my audios over and over again. You're not changing, so the society is getting worse. There's nothing more that pisses me off than a child and children who gets hurt from your ignorance. There's nothing more. And I'm doing my best to just keep myself in order to teach you and to talk to you, because this is senseless. I gave you an audio not too long ago, one of the recent ones, and there's plenty of them. You just got to take your vanilla, lazy ass sausage finger down there and start scrolling and think. But I've explained this to you before, that it was going to happen again. You should be thinking, well, how did Morpheus know this? Oh, he's just a regular guy. How did he predict that this was going to happen again? What has he got to do with this? Because I've studied human nature. I've studied you. I've took the time to counsel and talk to people. I've been with families. I've spoken with children. I know what you think, and I know the consequences behind bad behavior. So therefore, the way that you are operating with your ignorant selves, you're going to continue to create kids that aren't and is not going to get the proper attention. You got to, here's the thing. I wrote this down and we're going to get to it. And here's the thing. I'm not going to say too much because I've said enough in my previous audios. I've said enough. But I'll just give you just a little bit here. But you need to take your lazy ass self back there and study some stuff. The problem is parents don't read, nor do they study. The problem is parents are so self-absorbed, so stuck in their own world and ignorant. The problem is you people are all on your individual islands and you don't understand we are all in this together. Those kids don't belong to me, but it hurts me. I am upset and I am pissed to the max because I told you this was going to happen and what you need to do to avoid it, but you're too damn stupid. Only care about your stuck-up self. I've explained to you over and over and over again. Look at what has changed through the years. What has changed through the years? Hey. Hello, moron. Hey. Mail. Your mail is here. Pick the damn mail up. What have changed through the years? Your lifestyles. Now you got more people on the internet focusing on artificial technology. You're bringing in transhumanism. You're not focusing on the nature of yourself or your human superiority. You're giving everything to the internet. You give everything to computers and computer chips. You want to electrify everything, including your own face. You got cameras everywhere. You got devices everywhere. You so inhuman, you don't even realize you lost your humanity 15, 20, maybe even 30 years ago when you start creating the computer chip. Things started changing rapidly and fast because a lot of you aren't satisfied and you keep trying to go for what's the newest thing. You think the newest thing is the best thing because you're just that smart. And I've explained this to you before. I'm giving you a run through here because I've spoken about this before. Like I said, I'm only going to give you a little bit. I've explained to you before that you're never satisfied. And you're constantly putting yourselves in a situation where you are ignoring the main important thing in life, and that's called family and people and children. If I care about anything in this world and time, and that is children, I've explained to you before, my whole purpose of creating these portions of information for you and that book is for children. It's for the future. It's for people that you current parents today are ignoring because you ignore yourself. You ignore your spirit, you ignore your mind, and you ignore your humanity. Too damn stuck on yourself. I'm going to tell it like it is, damn it. I'm going to tell it like it is. We have more psychologists than we do common sense, and you're still dealing with situations like this. Why? We got more doctors than what we ever used to have, but we still got situations like this. Why? And of course, I just said it. You have more technology and devices than you ever used to have. So, again, and you still got situations like this. Why? Because you are still trying to defy nature. Nature is God. God kicks your ass 100% of the time. Years ago, families were supported. Years ago, there was let's put it like this. How about this? Some of you understand this. Let me get basic with you universally, okay? I don't stand by the Bible, nor do I use your word called believe, because you believe in something, that means you don't know it. I don't need to believe in a pile of crap. I know things. I don't believe in it. I know it. I don't have faith. I just do it. Either I trust it or I don't trust it. You can keep faith and belief for yourself. Keep that in your own little bitty vocabulary language. Okay? But in the Bible, so to speak, there were outlines for a reason. Meaning, there was groups of men who were, it's not like today where you got Facebook, social media, television, Netflix, cars, electronics, things like that. Men really didn't have a lot to do. So what did they do? They would hunt, they chop wood, they build bridges, and they did another thing. They start understanding the woman and the family. Listen carefully. They started understanding the woman and the family. So they begin to write things down according to what is good, what is bad, and what is possible, because men were better in those years besides these peon soy drinking milk men that you have today. These men are as soft as a baby's bottom today. So the men in the past had more girth. They had more intelligence compared to these men today. You'll say, what do you mean, Morpheus? Because they didn't know too much about algorithms and science all that much. You know, these men, they were trying to figure out stuff. There's, rubbing boils on themselves because they thought it was going to be good for them. Let me explain something to you. You ready? It's a thing called instincts. Not only is it called instincts, it's called being focused, and it's called being natural. There is an intelligence from the universe, from nature, that is beamed into you and given to you to make you aware of your surroundings and focus on the details of everything that you're doing. That's right. From what you're eating to what you're doing. And let's go even further. Men were more adaptable in those years because they had to be aware of all their surroundings, such as wild bears, animals, other wild beasts, boars, wild cats and things like that were able to hurt them and their family or everything that they built. Yeah, I'm going all the way back. Because some of you forget because you're so smart. You got a PhD in idiocracy. I've told you before, you've gone too far. So because you've gone too far, you endure what you're enduring today. You got to look back to what you have lost. And a lot of you just don't want to do it. You progressive thinkers. Oh my God, you got to keep doing something new. Let's just keep passing laws. Let's just put pancakes on top of pancakes. Oh, let's put medication on top of medication. Let's put a Band-Aid on top of that Band-Aid. If that Band-Aid goes up, let's make another Band-Aid. That's how smart you guys are. You know, it blows my mind how you still here today. It never solves the problem. Never. I've told you I've been in the hospital settings before. When it comes to the physical health, I'm all about it. When it comes to the human body and the anatomy, that's my field. Dude, listen. You don't put bandages on symptoms. You solve the problem. You get to the root of it. Say, this is why you have a headache. This is why you keep having abrasions. This is why your skin is enduring scarring. This is where the lacerations are coming. This is what it's coming from. This is why you're itching. This is why you're irritable at night. You got irritable bowels. This is why, I'm not even going to go there because some of you are not ready. I've spoken about this before. Cancer. Yes, I do have conversations about cancer as well in my audios. Y'all just don't listen and you don't try. So guess what? Take the path that you have been given, because you don't make your own path. You just listen to what other people tell you to do. And you see the results for yourself today. Or continue on your path and suffer. That's all, just suffer. I've spoken about cancer before and how it happens and how you can prevent and cell damage. And speaking to yourself, I've spoken about stuff like this, but no, y'all too busy watching Netflix and chill. You too busy smoking on your blunt. You too busy drinking your Coke 45 or your Budweiser. You too busy jumping on a boat looking stupid because you think the world owes you something. What made men better is because they gave you what would happen, meaning they wrote books saying, hey, you do this, this is going to happen because I understand, because the nature of this animal, my wife, my children. So a lot of you began to think that there is some sort of patriarch. Oh my God, men are so controlling. Men are just so evil. Actually, they were warning you about what you're doing today. They were telling you about what America is doing today. Let me repeat myself because some of you are slow. Forgive me for those who are graduates in this academy, but there's plenty of them who are amongst us who may be of the sloth blood. They're not allowed here anyway, so they're very slow. So I got to repeat myself for them. All right. So forgive me. In America, let me make it clear so you can hear me. Okay, if you don't want to hear me, take your ass on somewhere else and endure that type of consequence. You promote broken families and children and kids not getting the proper love and or kindness that they need, because one, you're always looking for a taxpayer. You have overinflations and inflations, and therefore it is hard for one parent to make the money that they need or to provide for their children, whereas the mother can stay home and take care of their kids. And on that side, you give mothers and or women the incentive not to stay home and to stay with their husband or man because they are paid to leave them. Via, you have alimony, you have child support, you have believe all women, you have support all women, you have 50 to 100,000 other services and programs that support the woman, but you barely have anything to support the man, where it is not even smart for him to get married. It's not even smart for him to be committed. It's not even a safe bet for him to say, you know what, in America, I'm going to get married. No, you got systems, you got media, you have programs, you got TV channels, you got movies, you got Disney, who's making people like the She-Hulk. You're promoting everything for the woman and giving her every door not to stay committed to her husband or man who is the authoritative figure at home and are a good example for these boys and our girls, mostly boys. So therefore, if she gets tired, if the woman's not happy or she gets emotional, she can break away the marriage or the divorce or a relationship. And guess what happens? The son don't have a father at home. Now he's pulled away from the authoritative figure or the masculinity or common sense or stoic or this man giving him consequences of what he should and should not do, to an emotional circle and estrogen and this energy of this woman raising him according to what she knows, but she can only do so much because she is a woman. She is not a man at the end of the day when you clock out. And another thing that y'all have done, because you're so smart with the red, white, and blue upside down, okay? You've taken a lot of authorities from parents at home. You want to be the authoritative. You want the government to be the authority. You want other systems to be the authority. You want your pastors to be the authority. You want everybody else to tell your child what to do but the parents. So instead of the parents having the ability to wear out that belt, to make footprints over there in front of the corner for the child to go in the corner when the child does wrong, go in the corner like I tell most of you. Put the dummy hat on and go in the corner, sit there until you think. You take all the authority from the parent. So therefore, when the child start wilding out, getting out of control, getting an attitude, feeling upset, getting bad, getting upset, mad, emotional, guess what? The parent can only do so much, because if the parent tries to be a parent, you're going to step in and try to call CPS. Because you think this parent's abusing the child, when the parent is really trying to keep the child from doing what you have saw in the news. Years ago, men used to do checks and balances. Men used to realize that there was a consequence that was the worst case scenario. Okay, it's the lesser of the evils, right? It's this thing that they call spoil the rod, save the child. You say, what do you mean spoil the child? Okay, so how about this? In America, with the single mothers, most of them, not all of them, most of them will say, I don't want nobody to chastise my child. You can't tell my child what to do. And I wish you would spank my child if my child get out of line, because I love my child and you just can't do it. So I'm the parent, and I'm going to be the father. I'm the one who's going to do it. I have listen, I want you to clip this part right here, because I made an audio. It's called The Mother Devil. The Mother Devil Part 1 and Part 2. Okay? Now, listen to that. And this will explain what I mean with this portion of this audio. I just can't go into it right now because I don't want this to be too long. Okay? I want to spare our time here. All right? So take the time to look at those audios, and you will know what I mean by removing the man and putting the mother in the position of authoritative. And you will see what happens to the daughter. But what happens to the son is he starts becoming emotional. The son starts becoming, again, if there's no father at home and there's no real authoritative figure, also what happens is that son will start looking for companionship in a game. They start looking for validation in other people. They start looking for what it means to be a man from the television, from movies, from cartoons, from video games. So therefore, he doesn't have a really good example of what a man is. But thanks to America, you keep removing men from the home, and you'll say, well, we're not really doing that. The woman, she has free will to stay or to go. No, you give incentive to women not to stay. In some states, you got no fault divorce. In some states, if you're married to her for more than 10 years, she's capable of taking half, if not everything that you own. So there are some women who will wait for 10 years and say goodbye, and the child's 10 years old, or the child is, 7, 8, 6. Don't you understand that a boy can be very angry when the father's not there. Now, I'm not saying that that's this case. I'm saying in a lot of cases of this sort of violence and bloodshed, it happens because there's a root of it, and y'all love to be ignorant of it. You love it. And I heard several things as well, and they're still doing their investigations, and they always are doing their investigation. But you ask yourself a question: why would this guy attack his grandmother, and the other one will attack his mother? Think about that for a second. No, let me take that back, because some of you don't think. I don't trust you anymore to think, because this event happened, lets me know that y'all don't think. So I'm tired of saying that. I'm just going to say, try to think. Put those two peanuts you got up there, rub them together with whatever oil that you got, and see what you get. Maybe some type of spark from somewhere will start igniting. Maybe you need Elon Musk to help you put a battery in your brain to get you jump started to start thinking with your consciousness and stop thinking with your programming, with what the world and society tells you to think. Why don't you start thinking naturally? Oh, I forgot, because you can't stop eating genetically modified food. Forgive me. You can't stop eating watermelons without seeds, which is not natural. Forgive me. Oh, you love your pops and your high fructose corn syrup. Oh, what are you talking about, Morpheus? I don't know what you mean. Of course you don't know what I mean, because you don't understand your organic matter have been changed by what you eat. What you eat is what you are. And when you get rid of the natural foods, organic, which is connected to the earth, you don't get the proper information that you need to even help jumpstart your brain to start thinking. You can't concentrate. You can't concentrate straight because you're eating bad food. That's why y'all not thinking normally anymore. That's why you don't concentrate on home anymore. That's why you neglect your children now. That's why you don't understand what the solutions are, because you're too busy eating. Let me stop. Hog shit. That's your problem. The solutions have been in your face for the longest of time. What has changed through the years? You started ignoring nature and started modifying nature for yourself. Oh, we don't need fathers at home. Let's get rid of the fathers. We're women. We can raise them all by ourselves. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. Men can't force you not to have your child, and men can't force you to have a child, because you have, usually in most states, 100% rights to have this kid. And the father might say, hey, it's not a good idea. Our relationship is rocky. It's not a good idea. You need to make it different. You need to think about this. But the mother would say, I'm going to do it anyway because I don't care. Ma'am, you're not well equipped for this son. Ma'am, not a good idea, ma'am. I don't care. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. And then guess what happens? You raise a boy, and you are not compatible for a relationship, but you raise a child anyway. And guess what happens? This child does not get the guidance properly that it needs, and it gets emotional just like you. It gets out of control most of the times just like you. And guess what happens? There's nobody to turn to, nobody to talk to, because he's angry. He's supposed to have testosterone, but actually he's full of estrogen for some damn reason, and soy milk instead of natural milk or some almond milk or something. And next thing you know, he explodes. And now we're all sitting around the council table talking about what happened. I don't understand what happened. We are Americans. We are Americans. What happened? I have zero tolerance for stupid. I really do. I have zero tolerance for stupid. You've been warned several thousand times from so many people, not just myself. As a matter of fact, I began with my teachings and lessons here broadly on YouTube for you to hear, because I felt guilty for just talking to families and individual people. And a lot of them said, you know what? Mr. Leon C., you are Morpheus because we need this red pill. You are Morpheus. Please wake us up. You need to start a YouTube channel. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I can't. No, they're not ready for it. I'm not going to do it. I shouldn't. No, I'm not going to do it. No. No, you should do it, man. You're just like Morpheus. And they started calling me Morpheus. Man, you can open up the eyes and ears of some people, man. You really care about people and children, man. You should put it out there, man, please. So I started doing so around 2019 going into 2020, right? And I began writing my book around that time because, well, I knew a lot of stuff and I knew this was going to happen. I knew the other events was going to happen. I knew that I ain't going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Your sickening situation in your country was going to happen too, but nobody listened. But it was there for a couple of years, since 2020, right? And I knew it was still going to happen. That's why I said 2020s. And you seeing it today. Not to blow my head up. I'm nobody special. I'm just telling you, it was already there. 2 years, really? 2 years or 3 years, and y'all still don't have it. Still going through the same situation. But you know what? I wasn't the only one. It's been spoken about for years. You've seen it in the courtroom for years when fathers fell on their face because they couldn't see their child. And the court says, oh, I don't care. So what? You get visitation 1 day out of the week. 1 day out of the week isn't enough for a child because they still got to go home. Kids are like they're like a learning AI computer, but unlike AI computers, they remember and they'll pick up the data and continue on through their buffering and caching. But a child is, when the child's around an adult, they learn from that adult. And the adult that they've been with more than the other, they're going to learn from that adult. And when they're living out of a backpack, and this father only have visitation 1 time out of a week or every 2 weeks, okay, that's not enough for that child. The child don't understand why the father isn't there 100% of the time. The child don't understand what's going on in the adult world. So the child start getting angry and mad and upset at the world because it's frustrated and it doesn't have a guidance nor any future. When you look at the way that America is operating, kids usually can feel by instinct that things are dark and they are not well. The battle is going badly. And not to say that they can perceive the future. It's an internal, innate connection that a lot of you adults have lost. It's called instincts. Y'all don't have it anymore. That's why you created these. Let me stop. That's why you are usually the producer of these situations. Because you don't understand how to prevent it. You can prevent it by continue your instincts and focusing on the details of people and not your goddamn self. I've told you this before. Computers isn't going to save your ass. Putting in more policy isn't going to save your ass. Adding more laws isn't going to save your ass. It's just going to make it worse. You're just patching over the problem. You're just trying to deal with the symptoms of the problem. You got to do surgery in the society where you fix what you have created. Clean your goddamn bedroom. It's messy. There's not enough of anything to keep families together anymore. There's no incentive to stay together. Why? So the man can get divorce robbed? Hell no. Women are incentivized to be, let me put it like this. Some of you are not ready, but I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to give you a piece. And we're at 39 minutes in. I need to go ahead and call this quits because we're getting in here too long. Women are trying to be like men because of your mandates. Okay? Now you got Valentine's Day. Now you got women giving themselves cards. They give themselves, what do you call that? Mother's Day cards and Father's Day card, but they are the mother. And instead of getting therapy or getting real life help from professionals and realizing it's her fault that she can't keep a man or a decent husband or father figure, y'all continue to promote her bad behavior and support her while she's having 2 kids that need guidance or love or leadership. And so if there was ever a man to try to come in and be a good authoritative figure to help this child from losing their mind, but because you gave her so much power, guess what? She ain't gonna care. She don't care. So she's gonna be like, nah, you're not the biological father. Be gone. Poof. I don't trust you. Oh, and besides that, let's not even go further. You're putting all this fear mongering in social media and on public television, all this fear. Oh man, be careful. There's a pervert over there. Be careful. This man can hurt you over here. Be careful. You can't trust people. Look at this carjacking. Look at this man. Oh man. Oh my goodness. You know, these people are coming up missing because of men. So guess what women usually do? They operate in fear and emotion. So therefore, what does she do for her child? Instead of giving her child therapy or understanding the mind and the chemistry and anatomy and lifestyle of this little boy, she ignores him and just puts him in the box and try to put a cage around him because she's afraid the world's going to hurt him. So therefore, he doesn't get any proper help nor information from the outside world like big brothers. I'm not talking about the big brother. You know, I let my his uncle come and see him. Yeah, he got a grandfather and big brother. Sometimes they are not available and it's broken. There are some people in the outside world that can give help and therapy, like doctors and people that are not related to you. But guess what she'll say? No, I don't trust him. He might be a creep. He might be dangerous. You can't come around my child. No. And guess what? Guess what happens? This child goes with no help. Now she got to work extra work. She's doing more than an 8-hour job. She's working 12 hours a day or something like that and just letting her child stay home to think for itself. Oh, the child's 12 years old. It's okay. I've never in my life heard, as I've done in America, only made in America, where a mother could say, oh, my child is 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. They're an adult. They can take care of themselves. So you mean to tell me that you're so smart that you actually can conjure up this mathematical equation to think that what it falls down to is that because this child can make a peanut butter jelly sandwich, lock the door, get on their dumb phone, and twirl their ass around the house and do whatever the hell that they're doing, that they are an adult? You mean to tell me that you would trust your 12-year-old self? So you mean to tell me that you would trust your 16-year-old self to be aware of the outside world and to deal with their own psychological babble? Wow. I tell you what, I've told you this before, but America is going down to hell in a handbasket because you don't get it. You don't get it. You know, instead of promoting instead of promoting possibilities and solutions on your media or on your public television, it's always negative. It's always saying, oh, you know, congratulations to the single mom. You know, years ago, there's some countries, and I'm not going to say no names, but there is some countries where if there's a single mother, they're frowned on. It's not that they frown on her individually. It's not that they're controlling or got some type of negative system. No, they're frowned on because they know the negative connotations and possibilities. They understand what could happen. They know that life requires yin and yang, sun, moon, left and right, exhale, inhale, left hand, right hand, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, up, down, good, bad, drink, don't drink, puke, don't puke, digest, don't digest, hot, cold. You know, simple elementary stuff that you, as a so-called superior power in great America, don't quite understand. That you think being lopsided in an unbalanced home, having these kids not get the therapy that they need with, let me stop. I quit because I give up. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go ahead and quit this lesson today because I'm not gonna waste my time with you. I'm not going to. I'm too upset. I'm too mad. I'm actually truly angry at this situation because you've been warned before. Yet you want to be. Your policy is not going to help, nor putting more laws out there doesn't help. Bring families back together. Stop this unbalanced BS bullshit. That's what you need to do. Get back to nature and get right. You're letting Disney Channel, you're letting Disney lie to these girls and call them all princesses and they can never do anything wrong. Then you want to turn around and make them a She-Hulk and a super-powered Spider-Woman. And in real life, that's nowhere damn near possible. Even if one woman can do it, that's not the majority of them. You may have a Miss Olympia somewhere. You might have some woman who might be stronger than the majority of some men in that corner. But compared to the man, it's totally different. And there's a reason why. There's a reason why men were leaders. It wasn't because it was a patriarch. It was because they was protecting women from themselves. And they were protecting children because they knew what would happen if things get out of line. Sometimes not doing what you want to do is a good thing. Sometimes you might want to go somewhere or go out at night. But the men say, no, it's not a good idea because it's dangerous. But you say, well, you're trying to control me. I can have girls' night out. I can do what I want to do. And you go out there, then something happens. Now you want to cry for Jesus and God. When your Jesus and God was sitting next to you called a man. According to the statistics, there are plenty of Christians in the high percentages. More than 67% are Christians in America. Why can you not abide by your own Christianity that you believe in so much? Yeah, you believe in, because you don't know in it, you believe in it. Maybe that's why it's such a failure, because you have to believe, because you don't know it. It's supposed to be God, then man, then woman, then child. Y'all want to say woman and child. You're missing some pieces. You drive down the road in a Ford F-150, and you hear a knocking noise in the engine and a part fall out. And y'all dumb enough to say, well, I don't understand why the parts keep falling out. Because you took parts off of the damn truck years ago, moron. You didn't read the manual that was sitting in the glove box the whole entire time because you don't read. You're too busy sitting watching Netflix. You're too busy watching fake news. You're too busy being entertained by what's going on in other countries. You're not worried about what's going on in your country, or bringing stuff home, or building factories here, or making something here, make gas here, make whatever else here. Too busy worrying about everybody else. Go to Harvard School to be a bunch of dumbasses. I don't understand. I don't know how you think. I told you I have zero tolerance. Zero. And you can sit here and say, well, LCM Morpheus, who the hell you think you are? You're not doing nothing. I got a book for you. I got this channel for you. I'm helping people on foot as much as I can, but I'm only one man and I can only do so much. And last time I have checked, a channel like this can only grow if a person likes, share, and subscribe. That's on your end, not mine. I can't like it, share it, and subscribe it. I'm already creating this. That's up to you, the viewer and the listener. I've already wrote the book. That's up to you to read. And when you read it, there's action after it. Because he who writes the written page controls the thinking of the ages. And it can be for the positive or the better. But because y'all too overburdened with yourselves and too stuck on the fecal matter that you keep eating every day, you don't quite see correctly, nor listen. Life is in the past. It's not where you're sitting today. I've explained this in the book, and I'm explaining this now. You have gone too far. Go back. Go back. Go back. Warning, you have gone too far. I had beef with Elon Musk one time because he had like an interview and he called himself saying, well, you know, if stuff's not created, it's just not going to be made. Sometimes you have to stop. Just because you are, let me stop because I'm about to start roasting his ass. Let me stop because I can say some stuff right now. Listen. There are some things that don't need to be created. Just because you can do it don't mean you should. Wise men in the old days said you have to have self-control. Just because you can rain down fire don't mean you should. You know, the military can tell you that. Just because you got massive, dangerous armory that can hurt people, probably even destroy the entire country, that don't mean you need to use it. It's put away, locked away. It's not needed. That's the same with every little detail of your life. And you say, why are you saying this, Morpheus? What's going on? You keep compiling technology, unnecessary jargon on social media and television. You're implementing all these extra programs for fathers and mothers when everything was simple in the past, meaning simply have the parents at home. Simply implement services at home. You know, make no incentive for the parents to leave. You know, if it was up to me, I'll destroy child support. I know y'all don't like that. Like, oh my God, what are you talking about? No way. This thing about alimony and her being able to have the incentive to leave, I'll make it hard for her to leave. As a matter of fact, because she'll need that man. No, I'm liberated. What do you mean? You're just so mean now. Now you're just out of place. What do you mean? No, because they have to be responsible to stay for that child. He said, well, I just want, you mean I'm not going to be happy? You decided to make a child. Those kids are vital to the future. I've explained this before. We got all types of educational classes for making money, dealing with crypto, being an entrepreneur, getting into real estate, painting your house, all this other BS. But we don't have enough when it comes to building a family, implementing what is a child, what the child needs in the future. And don't you even dare open up your legs, because this could be the end of another child's life. Duh. Who would have, think about this, who would have thought that having a child would be, and I know it sounds harsh, it's just the reality, who would have thought that making the choice of having a child would actually end other children's lives? Who would have thought that? I'll raise my right hand. I've spoken about this before. Y'all don't get it. I can raise my right hand. Some of you can't. I thought about it. My rant is over because I can keep going on with this, and I don't even want to be an hour in. Might as well say it is 53 minutes. Goodness gracious. But the point of the matter is this. Y'all need to go back. The value needs to be at home. I've already explained myself as it is. That's where the man should be, or the husband should be, but there's too much incentive. And I'm not even going to go there. I'm really not going to. The battle is on the soil where families are pretty much irrelevant, and giving guidance, proper guidance to children aren't as important like it used to be, because we're too caught up with ourselves. And to really have proper guidance, we have to move away these fear mongering and the scare of the negative possibilities should any stranger or person come into the scene. And we need to start getting back to, I know it's going to sound like some Barney, I love you, you love me, we are happy family. We got to start trusting each other again. It takes a village to raise a child. And it really does. It still does today. But you know what you're doing? You're letting technology raise your child. You're letting the TV raise your child. You're letting the dumb phone raise your child. You're letting your own negativity and emotional lifestyle raise your child. So you're going to end up with a ticking time bomb. Because you're intelligent. You know, yeah, let's give you a high five on that. You're intelligent. Yay! Let's clap our hands to her. Congratulations to your smarts. Simple stuff that other countries have already understood a long time ago. This is why they have restrictions. This is why they don't allow certain music to be played. This is why they are always cautious of keeping their family together and not giving the woman so much incentive to walk away, because they understand that a child can be very dangerous for the future. You don't know what that child's going to do when you ignore that child in your own intelligence, or shall I say instincts. Because you don't have instincts. You got to rely on your intelligence, which is the problem with the society. Your instincts is gone. Don't know who you are. You confused about who you are when you wake up in the morning. I don't know who I am. I'm a man, woman. I mean, maybe I'm a space alien. I think am I Quagmire from the planet Quagmire? The hell's wrong with you? Y'all don't even understand who you are. If you don't know who you are, how are you going to raise up a son to be even-minded and stoic and non-emotional, to be responsible for his behavior? You'll say, well, if you want to prove me wrong, look at what's changed through the years. That's all you got to do. Ma'am, look at what have changed through the years. That's all you got to do. What have changed? The home. That's what have changed because of your wonderful state and country. It is not the unnatural we need to look for. Again, implementations, laws, rules, Congress, all this type of stuff. More devices. Let's do more devices, more computers. Idiots do that. Dogs are the only creatures that are somewhat smarter than human beings, because when they get sick, they stop eating and start eating grass. Y'all idiots keep eating and start to put medicine and injections and pills over here. And you already know that the majority of American women, not all of them, are on some type of antidepressant and medication because she's not happy, because she have to be a taxpayer now out there suffering like the average man, because you think she's just like the average man when her ass should be at home taking care of the kids, giving some type of nurturing. But no. And then you got these psychologists that want to jump up here on the newscast talking about, you know, you need to start paying more attention to your kid. Y'all need to start asking what's wrong with your kid. How the hell are you going to do that? You don't even know your own damn self. You don't even know who you are. How are you going to know the problem of your child if you don't know that you're the problem? You're the problem. You're the problem, not them. You brought them into this world since age 1 to age 18. Figure it out. That's the end of this audio lesson today. And I told you it was going to happen. And you see it for yourself until you start learning, until you do what needs to be done. Oh, by the way, and yes, like and share and subscribe this audio and the other audios I got down there. Maybe, just maybe, other parents can hear this and start goddamn thinking.